for this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you how to draw a snowman that looks like he has fallen down on the ground. So, to start with, you're going to draw a few little snowmounds at the bottom of your page. I want you to notice that my page is actually going landscape-wise, or sometimes in grade school we call it hot dog versus hamburger. So this would be portrait, and this would be long, like a landscape. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those snowmounds around the bottom of the page. Okay. Remember to draw light with your pencil because there will be some things that you have to erase as we go along. The next thing we're going to do is give our snowman a head by making an oval. And that oval just kind of rests on top of those snowmounds. So after we've given him his head, we're going to look like he's kind of fallen down on the snow. And his carrot nose is going to lay right there along the ground. Okay? This is one of those times where we need to erase. So the snow shows through the carrot nose. So I'm just going to erase the center out of that part. Okay. My snowman, even though he fell, he's still happy. So I'm going to give him a smile peeking up from underneath that carrot nose. And then a couple of small eyeballs. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those and color them in just a little bit. You can leave a little bit of white showing if you want to. I'm going to do one on this side too. Try to make them about the same size. Great. Then if you want to, you can give him some little eye wrinkles at the bottom. You can give him some eyebrows. Okay, just to make him have a nice happy face. The next thing we want to do is give our snowman a hat. So right across the top of the oval, we're just going to draw a curved line that kind of cuts that oval off just a little bit. Now where it sticks out on the top, we are going to erase that part. So remember how I told you to draw light because there are going to be times that we need to erase. Okay, I'm drawing a little bit heavier because I want it to show up on the screen, so mine didn't quite erase all the way. All right, so the next part of the hat is to do the hat brim. Okay, so this part is going to start on the edge of our snowman's hat. It's going to curve, or edge of the snowman's head, sorry, and it's going to curve around up over the top and back to the other side. So I'm going to give my snowman a hat band. So if you look right here on the hat, there's a little hat band with a buckle in the center. That is our next step. So on top of that hat brim, we're just going to do some wrinkled lines on this side, and then a few wrinkled lines over here on this side as well. In the center of the hat, I'm going to make a buckle. It's kind of like a rounded corner rectangle with a smaller one inside of it. And then I'm just going to connect that hat band to the buckle in the center. I'm going to do just a few lines in there to make it look like it's a little bit wrinkled. Okay. Up above the hat, I'm going to make an oval. This is going to be the top of our hat. So I'm going to have the oval kind of come down farther on this side and then a little bit higher on that side. Okay. Now, on this side of the hat, I'm just going to make some wrinkles. They're going to connect down to the hat band. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but these wrinkles are going to be a little bit longer. So I'm just making a few wrinkles, and then, like I said, it's just going to kind of connect down to the bottom of the hat. Okay. Now our snowman looks like the back of his body is kind of in behind the hat. So the round part of his body is back there, and then the arms are kind of splatted out on the ground where it looks like he fell. So I'm going to start with the arms. So on this side of the snowman's head, I'm just going to bring an arm out to the side. And then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing, but the arm is kind of tucked in behind the hat. So I'm just going to curve that arm out to the side. The snowman is going to have a body that comes in behind the hat. It just kind of rounds around there. Let's see if it was coming up, probably about here. And then I'm just going to continue to curve that down until it touches the arm on the other side. Now, the next thing that I need to do for my snowman is I'm going to give him some shoes. So I'll show you that on my sample. The shoes stick out on each side of the snowman, and mine is wearing boots. So I'm going to go ahead and do that part next. So on the right side, I'm going to have a boot that curves up, and then it's going to come back down like it's resting on the ground. Okay. On the bottom of that boot, I'm just going to add another little detail for the sole of the shoe. And inside the sole of that shoe, you can add some smaller lines just to give a little bit of shading. Okay. So our next step is to give that boot just a couple of laces. So to make the laces on the shoe, I'm just going to draw a couple of X's right there at the top of the boot. And then I'm going to copy that onto the other side. So I do want my boots to be approximately the same size. They don't have to be exact, but just approximate. Once again, I'll do a sole on the bottom of the shoe with a few little lines inside for some texture and some laces. Okay, so the part of my snowman is actually done. The next thing I need to do is look at the sky. I'm going to draw some snowflakes in the sky. For the snowflakes, I usually start out by making a straight line down and then adding an X across the center. Now every snowflake looks different, so they're not all going to be the same. On the end of this one, I'm going to put little V shapes. And then inside those V's, I'm actually going to make dots on this one. I'm going to go back and add a few more of those little V shapes on the inside of each line. And then that snowflake is done. I'm going to do just a few little X's with dots to fill in some of the other spaces. Okay, just like a smaller snowflake maybe. I'm going to do another larger snowflake up here. So once again, I've got that X with the straight line through the center. Okay, this one I'm going to do little spots around the center, or dots. Okay, I'm going to do lines along the ends. And then I'm going to mimic that same V shape that I had from the last snowflake on the end of each one of those long lines. Okay. Once again, I'm going to do just a couple little X's with some dots around it for smaller snowflakes. And I'm going to do another larger snowflake over here. This time I'm going to draw my straight line down, my X through the center. And this one, I'm going to do kind of a pattern in the center of it. So it's like making the letter V inside of each one of those spaces. Okay. Then I'm going to, let's do a V on the end with a few dots. Okay. And then anywhere you need to fill in space for snowflakes, just add a few of those little X's with some dots around, and your sky is now full of snowflakes. So I'm going to pull in my final copy again just to show you the finished project. And that is how you draw a snowman to make him look like he has fallen down. So our next lesson will be to color him.